Lakshmi Ramachandruni. This session is the continuation of the previous lesson, The Great Stone Face 1. In this session, we are going to learn the lesson by name The Great Stone Face 2. Are you ready? Children, do you know the man in the first picture? Yes, you're right. He is the Great Stone Face. Do you remember the name of the person who is holding a book? Good. He is Ernest. Children, let me know the name of the character of the man in the third picture. Absolutely correct. He is Poet. So, I think all of you are very eager to know what will be the next story. Before going to the lesson, we will see overview of the lesson. Okay? The Great Stone Face Part 2 consists of 5 parts. They are working with the text, working with language, grammar, speaking and writing. In this session, I am going to deal with working with the text and working with language. Children, now let's see the learning outcomes of the lesson. Shall we move on? By the end of this session, you will be able to find the meanings to some unknown words of the story from the dictionary. Describe the characters of the story. Predict the story of The Great Stone Face 2 basing on The Great Stone Face 1 story and continue in your words. Explain what the prophecy is. Discuss the conversation between Ernest and the poet. Explain the synonyms of the given words. Construct sentences and write a short story with the help of given hints. Use the following synonyms in your own words. Marvelous, proclaim, prophecy, spacious. Dear children, before entering the story, let us have a quick look of the previous story, that is The Great Stone Face 1. A mother told her little boy Ernest about an old prophecy. A prophecy means a prediction of what will happen in the future. The prophecy was that a noblest child would born and he become the greatest man of that time, and his face resembles the great stone face. So, Ernest was waiting for that man. Years passed. Ernest grew big, but he could not find the man who looks like the great stone face. Dear children, we learnt about this man in the first part of the lesson, The Great Stone Face 1. Do you remember? Yes, he is Nathaniel Hawthorne, an American novelist and short story writer. Okay, shall we move on? Children, can you define the word prophecy? Yes. Answer is a statement that tells what will happen in the future. Very good. We will move on to reading comprehension. Get ready. Dear children, look at these lines. Listen to me and try to understand the lesson. Okay? To begin with, the years hurried on and brought white hairs upon the head of Ernest and made wrinkles across his forehead and furrows in his cheeks. He was an old man, But not in vain had he grown old. More numerous than the white hairs on his head were the wise thoughts in his mind. And Ernest had ceased to be obscure. Unsought for, understand had come the fame which so many seek. He had become famous beyond the limits of the valley. Now, children, we will learn the meanings of the highlighted words. Dear children, read the word and understand the meaning by observing the picture. Yes, first one is wrinkles. Slight lines or folds in something. See, the woman has so many wrinkles on her face. Next one is furrows, deep lines. In the picture, see deep lines in a field. Next one is obscure, not well known. See the picture, the man in the hoodie is not well known. Well, children, you will have a small assessment. Get ready. Dear children, read the questions on the screen carefully and answer. Okay? First one is, who became an old man? Yes, you are right. Ernest. Excellent. Next one, what is the meaning of furrows? Answer is deep lines. Fantastic. Now, let us have a quick look on the remaining story of the Great Stone Face 2. Here we go. Children, while Ernest had been growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. He had written so many poems praising the great stone face. Ernest read his poems and was in hope that the poet might be look alike the great stone face. The poet spent most of his life in distant cities and one summer day arrived at Ernest's door while he was reading a book. Now, children, we will see the conversation between Ernest and poet.
Hello, gentlemen. Are you Ernest?
Yes, I am. May I know who are you?
I am the poet. Now you are reading my poems.
Oh, very glad to meet you.
I came to ask you shelter for a night.
Sure, I thought that you are the great stone face.
No, my life was quite different from the poems. I am unworthy.
Hmm.
Children, let's continue the story. The poet, as he listened, felt that the life and character of Ernest were nobler strain of poetry than he had ever written. His eyes filled with tears, and he said to himself that never was there so worthy a sage as that mild, sweet, thoughtful face with the glory of white hair diffused about it. Dear children, let's move on. Children, let us do this comprehension check. Here, a statement was given. Read the statement thoroughly and then say whether the statement is true or false. Okay? The statement is the poet realized that Ernest's thoughts were far nobler than his own verses. Yes, the answer is true. Very good, children. Children, here is another question. Read this question and answer. Okay? The question is, can you tell where the poet lived most of his life? Very good. Answer is yes. He spent most of his life in distant cities. Very good, children. Let's continue the lesson. Children, then the poet noticed that Ernest glanced lovingly at the mountain. He was very noble and kind gentleman. He loved all his neighbors. He looks like the great stone face. Suddenly he realized and shouted,
Behold, behold, Ernest is himself the likeness of the great stone face.
Children, thus all the people shouted that what the poet said was true. Children, what did you think? Are you excited to know whether the prophecy was fulfilled or not? Let's see further. Yes, the prophecy was fulfilled. But Ernest, having finished what he had to say, took the poet's arm and walked slowly homeward, still hoping that some wiser and better man than himself would by and by appear, bearing a resemblance to the great stone face. Children, have you enjoyed the story? Now, we will move on to comprehend the story. Do you agree with me? Then get ready. Dear children, answer the following questions. Question number 1. What do you think? Was the prophecy fulfilled? Answer is yes. The prophecy was fulfilled. Well done, my dear children. You understood the lesson very well. You comprehended well also. Keep it up. Let's do some more questions. Okay? Here we go. Has Ernest accepted that his face looks like the great stone face? Absolutely right. Answer is no, he hasn't. Children, what might have happened next? Any guess? I think Ernest looked for wiser and better man than himself, bearing a resemblance to the great stone face. Children, now answer this question. The question is, can you distinguish Ernest from others in the valley? Yes, answer is yes. Ernest was a noble, kind-hearted man. He helped and worked for everyone's betterment. He was popular all over the world for his wise thoughts. Thus, he was different from others in the valley. You have done very well. Shall we move on? children, answer the following question. The question is, who look alike the great stone face in the story? Answer is, Ernest look alike the great stone face. Well done, children. Dear all, you are going to learn the next subtopic of this lesson, that is working with language. Here you are going to learn synonyms. Okay? Let's go further. Well, children, let's learn the synonyms of some words given in the text. The synonyms are: first one, going down, sun; setting, drop, descent. Well, children, we will learn some more synonyms. Okay? Brightening, look bright and cheerful; glowing, sparkling. Dear children, the next word is spacious. Big and wide, roomy, commodious. Did you understand? Very good. Next. Children, the next word is prophecy. Prediction, prognosis, forecast. Children, learn synonyms to another word, marvelous. Wonderful, amazing, awesome. Next word is proclaim. Synonyms are reveal, show, indicate. Children, have you understood the synonyms? Okay. To know how far you understood, let's have an assessment. Get ready. Children, mark the meaning that best fits the word or a phrase in the story. The word is going down, sun. Children, here three options were given. First one is becoming smaller, second one is weakening, and third one is setting. You are right. The answer is setting. Very good. Let's move on. Brightening. The options are making look bright and cheerful, lending a special glow, causing to appear hopeful. Answer is making look bright and cheerful. Very good, children. Spacious, lonely and wild, big and wide, special and important? The answer is big and wide. Well done, children. Let us see another word. Prophecy. Options are proverb, prediction, a rumor. Answer is prediction. Very good, children. Next word is children. Next word is marvelous. Options are wonderful, surprising, shocking. Answer is wonderful. Well done, children. Let's go further. Children, use the following synonym in your own sentence. Proclaim. The sentence is the Oscar proclaimed Natu Natu as the best original song of the year 2022. Well done, children. We are going to do an assessment. Okay? Let's go. Dear children, construct sentences and make a story by using the following hints. The hints are: once lived a mother and her little boy Ernest, told an old prophecy, future, child, born, resemble, the great stone face. These are the hints. Now you have to construct sentences and make a story. You have written excellently. The answer is: once upon a time, there lived a mother and her little boy Ernest in a valley. She told an old prophecy that at some future day a child should be born. He resembles the great stone face. Very good, children. You have done very well. How would you relate the character of Ernest and the great stone face? Answer: the great stone face was a noble gentleman. He looks very kind and pleasant. He smiles always. Ernest was also a noble, kind-hearted gentleman. He always looked for the betterment of others. Thus, I can relate both Ernest and the great stone face. Well done, children. You did very well. Children, in this session, You found the meanings of some unknown words like obscure, wrinkles, furrows from the dictionary. You described the characters of Ernest and Poet. You predicted the story of the Great Stone Face too. You explained prophecy as statement that tells what will happen in the future. Your attempt in answering the questions is good. You had gone through the conversation of Ernest and Poet. You understood the story well and comprehended well. You explained the synonyms of words going down, spacious, proclaim, marvelous, prophecy, and brightening. You constructed sentences and written a short story with the help of given hints. You used synonyms in your own sentences, like prophecy. You have written, the prophecies of the author have all come true. In the same way, spacious. Our school playground is very spacious, marvelous. You told that the movie Triple R is marvelous. Thus, you actively participated in this session. Very good. Now, take the home task. Children, here is your home task. Imagine a character in the clouds and develop a short story on your own. Let's move on. Children, here are some suggested activities. Do these activities on your own. Okay? Good. Let us see. First one is write Ernest or Poet against each statement below. First one is there was a gap between his life and his words. Second one is his words had the power of truth as they agreed with his thoughts. Third one is his thoughts were worthy. His poems were noble. Whatever he said was truth itself. He lacked faith in his own thoughts. Greatness lies in truth. Truth is best expressed in one's actions. He was truthful, therefore he was great. Children, write answers later. Children, another activity is write true or false against each of the following statements. First one is the great stone face confirmed Ernest's view that the poet could be worthy of its likeness. Second one is when Ernest and the poet met, they respected and admired each other equally. The poet, along with Ernest, addressed the inhabitants of the valley. Fourth one is the poet realized that Ernest's thoughts were far nobler than his own verses. That's all for today. We will meet in our next session. Till then, bye bye, children.